Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to install FreePBX on a Docker container. So our goal with this installation is to have our FreePBX system available on a Docker image that you can upload to dockerHub or GitHub or any other platform and use that image for a backup or to replicate your FreePBX system on other servers. Then you can do that through Docker. Docker is multi-platform, so it's available for Windows, Linux, Mac, Raspberry Pi, and other systems. So let's get started. So if you're not familiar with FreePBX, it's a software available for Linux. It's open source. So we're going to be using Linux. I already have my computer running Linux, but we are going to use the AWS, the Amazon EC2 system. If you don't have an Amazon account, you can sign up and get access to their free tier, and you can run this instance for free for up to 1 year within their free tier limitations. So the other options you could do is if you're running Windows, you could run WSL, the Windows subsystem for Linux, or you could run Linux from a virtual machine using VirtualBox or VMware, or if you're more skilled, then you can partition your disk and just install Linux natively on your computer, or you could run Linux from a flash disk on a live distribution if you prefer. So those are the ways to install Linux. I'm not covering how to install Linux, but once you get Linux ready, then you can follow up with the instructions that I'm going to show here. So I'm going to use Amazon EC2. I already have my account open. Um, and I'm going to launch a new instance. I'm going to click on Launch Instance. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. So here we're going to have to give a name. I'm just going to say FreePBX. And I'm going to pick the Debian image. There are other images like RedHat, Mac, Ubuntu, Windows. You could use Ubuntu or Debian, they're free. Um, but that doesn't really matter because we are going to use Docker through that image. So that's just our host system. So if we scroll down, we're going to see here Debian 12, SSD volume. Um, Instance type is T2 micro. Just make sure you're using T2 micro because it's free tier eligible. On the right corner, you see there's a note saying your first year includes 750 hours of T2 micro or T3 micro if it's available. And that means you can run your instance for free for 24 hours for up to a year. So key pair, you're going to have to create a new key pair. You're going to create a new one, my key pair. So just give it a name. And well, if you're using, then you have private key file format. You have two formats, PEM and PPK. In my case, I'm using Linux, so I'm going to use PEM. But if you're using PuTTY on Windows, then you can select PPK to download that file. So I'm going to create key pair, click on create key pair, and it's going to prompt me to select where I want to save my file. I'm gonna save on the temp folder, and that should be it. So now if we keep scrolling down, we have the network options. We already have SSH enabled. We're gonna enable HTTPS and HTTP because we are going to install FreePBX that has a GUI interface. Then we have 8 GB by default. Set up for the instance, but the free tier supports up to 30 gigabytes, so we're going to change that to 30 gigabyte. And everything else, we can just keep the same, the default values. So we're going to click on Launch Instance. and we have to wait a minute or so the instance is ready on your AWS account. So I'm gonna go back uh, to the dashboard, select EC2, and instance running should say one, unless it's two. Yeah, it says one. So I'm gonna click there, and we have our FreePBX instance. It's running. We have a public IP address here. So what we want to do, we want to create an elastic IP address. Here on network security, click on elastic IPs. I already have one IP address allocated. So if you don't have any IP address, you can allocate an elastic IP address. Just click there and click on allocate. Just gonna click on cancel because I already have one. After you have allocated your elastic IP address, you're gonna select it, and on actions, you're gonna click on associate elastic IP address, and you're gonna choose the instance that you want to associate. So our FreePBX instance here, and click on associate. Now this IP ending 2552 should be on my instance. And there we go, 2552. So I'm gonna copy this IP address, and I'm gonna connect to that to this server. So again, if you're using Windows, you could open your command prompt and type in SSH like this. Let me clear the screen here. And if you type SSH, you should get something like this with the commands that are available, with the flags that are available for this command. If it says something like command not found or file not found, it means that you don't have an SSH client available with your Linux, with your Windows machine. So in that case, you have to download PuTTY and follow up with PuTTY. And if you're using Mac, just open the terminal and you do have SSH installed by default. So here on the terminal, we're going to type in SSH. We're going to use the I flag, and we're going to put the location of the key file. In my case, it's going to be temp mykeypair.pem, and we're going to do admin at. We are going to copy our IP address here, paste it, hit enter, and that should log us into our instance. And then we're gonna do sudo -i, and you should have root access. Now we're gonna do apt update to make sure all the packages are up to date. So my packages are all up to date. If your packages are not, just click yes to apply your settings, and then do apt upgrade, like apt upgrade, and that's gonna upgrade your system. And then you're gonna do reboot, and your instance should reboot. It might take a few seconds to come back online. After it comes back online, you can just use the same command uh, to log back in. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's back it's back on. So we're gonna do sudo I again, and now we're going to do apt install docker.io. And I already have Docker installed. So after install Docker, you're gonna run docker ps just to make sure that Docker is working. You should see something like this. We don't have anything running, so that's fine. If you do docker image ls is gonna list all the images. We don't have any image. So we're going to download an image. We're going to use RedHat UB9, which is the universal base image for RedHat. Uh, so I want to use RedHat as our distribution to install FreePBX because I just think Red Hat is a good distribution. You could use other distributions. In this video, I'll be showing how to install Red Hat based distributions like CentOS or Rocky Linux or some other Red Hat based distributions. Should work with the steps that we are going to do here, but we are going to use the UB9. So to copy this image, you're going to click on copy. And we're going to go back here to the terminal and hit paste, hit enter, and it should download the Red Hat UB9 image. It should be quite fast. It's just 88 megabytes. So now if we do Docker image list, it should show us our our image there. Yeah. So now we are going to run this image with all this command here, so all these flags that we have. So Docker run, we have the restart always, so the container restarts automatically. D for detached, privileged, name, we're gonna have to give a name to the container. I'm gonna just name it FreePBX. You can give whatever name you prefer. Network host, we will be sharing the host settings, host name. We have to give a name for host name. I'm gonna use FPBX.local domain. You could use whatever name dot local domain, or if you have a real full qualified domain, you could use your own domain. And I'm gonna hit paste, and I'm gonna just replace the image ID here with the actual image ID. So copy and paste the Red Hat image ID, and now we're gonna click on enter, and now our Docker uh, container should be running. If we do Docker PS, yep, we can see the Docker container running there. So we're going to connect to this Docker container. We're going to do Docker exec uh, interactive, the name of the Docker container, and dash bin dash bash. Hit enter, and now we are inside the Docker container. We're going to run the command dnf update to update the UB9 distribution. So we are already up to date. That's because the image was released just a couple of hours ago. And that's something that I like about Red Hat is because they're always updating their images and making everything secure and stable. So after we update it, we already have the system updated. So the next step here is to, let me clear this. Oh, so we have to install a couple of commands here because that's the minimal installation. So we have to install ncurses, hit Y, and now we should have the clear command. Okay, And we're going to install, first I'm going to install Asterisk. So we're going to go to asterisk.org. And I'm going to download Asterisk version 21. Downloads. Wow, it's pretty slow. Sorry, guys. Let me click again here. Downloads. All Asterisk versions. So the current release is Asterisk 22, but I don't think that FreePBX supports Asterisk 22 already. So we're going to be using Asterisk 21. Um, yeah. So standard release, download latest Asterisk version 21. I'm gonna let me just see something here. Yeah, I'm gonna right click and copy the link. And on the terminal, I'm gonna go to cd user local source, and I'm gonna do wget paste our URL. We don't have wget, so dnf install wget, hit yes, and now we do wget. I'm gonna close this because it's kind of overloading my computer. So we're gonna do tar and extract this file here. Now we're gonna cd into it, and now we're going to do /contrib scripts install prereq and use the test flag. So you should have something like this. We don't have yum, so I'm just gonna copy here and do DNF and paste all that. And that should get us set up with our asterisk dependencies. Okay, so we finished. Now, okay, so now let me see. We're going to use PHP. Do we have PHP? No. So if I do DNF install PHP, we have PHP version 8.0. That should work for us. Oh, hold on. There is a note here. Yeah, supports PHP only. So if you're running newer, then please remove and okay. So we are now going to use PHP 8.0. We have to use PHP 8.2. So yeah, we're gonna go to Google and install PHP 8.2 EL9. EL9. So let's take a look here. Yeah, we have to install the EPEL repository. So we're gonna paste here the end of update. Okay, here you're gonna use this command. Hit Y. Now we can. What is the command? Probably is. Uh, let's see what modules we have available here. I'm not sure if we have the install this one here, but uh, okay. So it turned out that our EC2 instance crashed, and I stopped our my instance, and then I restarted it, and I reconnected to the SSH. And the reason that I think that the instance crashed is because of the memory. We're gonna have to increase the amount of memory available on the EC2 instance. So the free tier, the D2 micro, gives us 1 GB, but that's just too low memory. So we are going to create a swap uh, file with more 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 memory, so we can allocate more memory. So uh, I Google it. You can just search on Google how to add swap to your Linux, and you should come up with something like this. And I'm just gonna copy and paste the commands here. So so I logged back into our instance. I'm not inside the Docker container. If you're still inside a Docker container, just press Ctrl D, and you should get back to the host system, to the Debian system. Or you can just log out and log back into your EC2 instance. And then we're going to do this. We're going to go to the main folder, and we're going to do this command F allocate. I'm going to allocate 3 GB, so we can have 4 GB total. And now if we do a list here, we have this our swap file here with 3 GB. We're gonna change the permission of this file here. Now we are going to make swap, use that for our swap space, and we're gonna turn it on with this command here. And now if we do free -h, we do have 3 GB. So we want to make that persistent. So we're going to run this command here, and that should make this persistent during reboot. So just to make sure, sorry, just make sure here if we do vi etc fs tab, we should have that, yeah, that last line inside the fs tab. So the next reboot is gonna mount that swap file automatically for us and fix the problem with the RAM disk. You could increase the RAM disk from the AWS instance, but if you do that, then it's going to charge you extra, what goes beyond the free tier. So if you increase your CPU or anything that you increase on your instance, then you're going to pay a little bit more because it's going to go beyond the free tier. So to keep this free, we can add the swap space here. So that should fix our problem. So next, now we can go back to the Docker. Uh, Docker, let me do Docker PS, and now Docker is that it FPBX dash bin dash bash, and we're back on our Docker container. So um, if we go to user local source, we have our asterisk. We're gonna cd into there, and we are going to do the DNF. Um, so we have to actually install this REMI repository. That's the repository that has the PHP additional versions. So the EPEL repository is also necessary because it's gonna provide some other dependencies that are not available with the default RedHat repositories. So now we can do DNF install PHP 8.2, or maybe it's 82. Yep. And hit yes. Hit yes to import the GPG case. And that should install PHP 8. So we can close this and just keep moving on. Okay. So we also need some module. Um, maybe it's modules. Mm, okay. So PHP, it's PHP MB string. We're gonna need encrypt. We're going to need MySQL. I think we need ODBC and some other ones. Let me take a look here. XML, GD. XML, GD. Okay. Okay. Um, oh, do we need PHP peer? think it's just PHP peer. Yeah. All right. Um, I think we do have OpenSSL here. Yep. Development package is also installed. Okay. Now we can continue with the Asterisk installation. So I'm gonna do contrib script get mp3 source, and now we can do configure. Let's see how this works out. Okay, so I have to pass with Johnson bundle. I thought that was already the default to install the Jensen default library. So let's see if we get it working now. All right, so now we're going to do make menu select. And add-ons, we're going to select format MP3, applications, should be everything fine here. Bridge modules, the channel, CDR. So all the defaults should be fine. I just want to core sound packages. We have the GSM, core sound English, music on hold. I want to add the GSM too. And for extras, I want to add the GSM extras too. Okay, now we're gonna save and exit. Now we're gonna do make and compile the asterisk. Now that should take a few minutes, so I'll be back when this is ready. Okay, so the compilation finished. So now the next command that we are going to do is make install. And that should be faster. Then after we finish, we're gonna do make samples. And now we're going to create a asterisk user. So we're gonna do user add asterisk. Yeah, I already have a home directory called home asterisk because I was testing something here before, but you shouldn't get any errors. Just do user add asterisk, and you should add the asterisk user. So the next thing is go to vi etc. pass wd, and on the last line we have the new user asterisk. We are going to change here bean bash to bean false. Then colon, semicolon, WQ to write and quit. And yeah, so now we should have the Asterisk user, and that user shouldn't be able to log into the system. Now we are going to change the file permissions with shown dash capital R asterisk, um, then etc. asterisk user lib asterisk, and var. I can do something like this: full lib log asterisk. And yeah, those are the folders and files that we want to change the sorry, the owner permission. Um, so now if we do asterisk rvvv, we are not running asterisk yet, so we're gonna run asterisk, and now we're gonna do asterisk rvvv, and now we are inside the asterisk clip, and that shows that asterisk is running. So everything's okay. We're gonna do core stop now to stop Asterisk because we are going to install FreePBX later, and we have to run some other scripts that is gonna start up Asterisk automatically for us. So we finished installing PHP. Asterisk installation, we did it. It's saying the same thing to change permissions. Oh, okay. We have to do this one too. This is to change. We don't need this one because we don't need that one. Oh, run user and run group. That doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Uh, it's not necessary. This one is the one necessary. We need to change this to our Apache configuration. So, um, well, actually, I prefer to go there manually because I don't know exactly where that is. So let's go here, http conf and okay, we don't have Apache installed yet. So dnf install httpd. Hit yes. Now we should be able to go to etc. httpd. Now we should have conf, and we should have httpd.conf. So we open that file, and we're looking for this tag, upload max file size. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not exactly this one. Oh, okay, this is for the php.ini. The one that we want to, let me search for group. Yeah, okay. User and group, we're gonna change this to asterisk and also asterisk. Save the file. Allow override. We also have to change here. So I'm gonna go back there and search for allow override, and the one that we are looking for is the Oh, I think it changes for all of them, but I just want to change for the HTML access. So this directory here, I'll override. Can just change here from none to all, and save and quit. And this is for the upload max file size for the php.ini. So in this case on Debian is on etc php. Let's see here, etc php dot ini, and let's search for that tag. And we have here upload max file size. We change it to 120. Okay, 120. Save. I think, yeah, there is this other one, memory limit. Let me copy here and search. 1256. 1256. Save and quit. All right, so that should. We don't have this command here on RedHat, so we just have to restart Apache most likely. Well, let's see here. Systemctl restart HTTPD. Okay. Then we have to configure. We're gonna configure that later. The ODBC database. We're gonna move on to installing the FreePBX. So we're gonna move back one folder to user local source, and we're gonna use wget to install to download FreePBX, the latest version 17. We're gonna do the same thing to extract the FreePBX, and we're gonna cd into the FreePBX. Okay, list the files here. Now, everything is gray, is black and white, so we can fix that if we do vi root dot bash rc alias ls equal ls color, like that. Now we have to source this, and now if I do yeah, okay, so now it's it's easier to see the files and folders. So the next step here is to run the install command. So we can, well, before that, just let me check a couple of things. We don't have MySQL, and we need a database, so we have to install dnf install MariaDB server. I think maybe it's I think it's MySQL server. Search MariaDB. Connect client. Okay, so it's just MariaDB. Okay. Yes. Now let's see. Okay. Systemctl start MariaDB. to have. Okay, so it turned out that the MariaDB package that we installed is actually the client, not the server. For some reason, on the description, it says very fast and robust SQL database server, but that's not the case. This is the client package. So uh, what I did, I went to mariadb.com downloads/downloads, and I selected here well, this was already selected. The latest version is 11.6.2 GA. Operating system, I chose uh, RHEL 9 for Red Hat, Enterprise Linux 9. And we're going to click on download. Now I'm not going to download to my computer. Just going to cancel and right click here, the download link, copy the link, go to our Docker container, and I'm on the temp folder. So I'm going to do wget. Well, this actually, sorry, we're going to go to cd user local source, and now we're going to do wget and paste the link. Now I'm going to do tar extract verbose file MariaDB. And we're going to cd in to the folder, and we want to install RPM, or we are going to do setup repository. And now DNF install MariaDB server. And now we're gonna accept this. Gonna do yes for everything. All right, so now we can do my SQL. Okay, let me see something. Systemctl status MariaDB. Can we start it? Oops. Okay. All right, so yeah, show databases. All right, I'm gonna quit, and we're gonna do systemctl enable, so it starts up automatically. All right, so now that we have our MySQL installed, we're gonna go back to user local source, and now we should be able to go to FreePBX and check if we Asterisk is not running. Great. So I'm gonna list here, and first we have to do that dot slash start asterisk and start. Okay, it says asterisk started. Let me double check. Yeah, asterisk's running. Control C to. I want to get out. If you want to get out of the asterisk CLI, but you want to keep asterisk running, just do a Control C. And now we're gonna do the install script. So we're gonna do dot slash install, and we're gonna do the flag uh, in. So your composer required PHP version 8, but you're running 8.0. 8.0? Oh, how is grab PHP? But I have PHP 82, but the 8.0 is there too. Uh, well, we can do DNF erase PHP click. That's gonna take out the peer common yeah, that's fine. I want to keep just the 82, so let me query again. And I have the 82, just let me, so, okay, so I have to apt install, oh, sorry, apt DNF install PHP 82 click. Um, I think it's PHP click. Oh, it is. Oh, oh, okay. So, okay, so it's not, it says PHP 82. So if I do this, okay, we're gonna have to do which 82. So it's user being PHP. So we're gonna do ln link dash s and user being PHP 82 to user being PHP only. Now if we do PHP we have PHP 82. We're gonna run the install again. And we have call to undefined function. This is because of the PHP peer, right? Let me search peer. DNF install PHP 82 PHP peer. Okay. Now if we do again, oh yeah, we need to install Node.js. I forgot that, and that's my fault. Somewhere here it says to install Node.js. Anyway, let's install it. DNF search Node.js, just see if we have that. We do. So DNF install Node.js, and we have version 16. That's gonna work for us. Accept. And now we're gonna run the installer again, and cron here. Cron line added didn't remain in cron tab. Oh, okay. So do we have cron? No. We have to do DNF install cron tab cron DNF provides cron tab crony accept. Let's try again. Now it's continue. So these are small things because with Debian and Ubuntu, you already have those packages installed by default. Let's see if it keeps going now. Installing FreePBX, building scripts. Yeah, it looks good. Looks like it's going to install. Oh, yeah, why did I say that, right? Cannot determine host name. Really? Host name is not found. Oh, gee. I can't believe this. Provides host name. I wasn't expecting that, really. DNF install host name. And that's a problem because now I think I'm gonna run again, just see if it finishes everything without any error. Sometimes when you have an error like that later on the installation script, then you have to remove the some of the files that were already installed. So let's see if that's gonna happen here or not. Okay, so now we have a successful installed FreePBX. Let me go to Asterisk, RVVV, and okay, let me see PG zip show and endpoints. Okay, no objects found. Okay, great. All right, so we installed FreePBX. Now we can log into the FreePBX interface. And do I have CUR? Yeah, okay. IP-echo.net plain. So this is my public IP address. I'm gonna copy here. What happened? Yeah, copy. And then if I go here and just paste this, I should be able to service unavailable. Okay. I think it is because status HTTPD. Okay. It is running. Why it's service unavailable? Okay. Let me see something here. Tail var log HTTPD error. Okay. Fail to connect. Okay, so okay, so our PHP82 is actually running through FPM, so we're gonna have to do something here. Etc. PHP update DB. Okay, DNF install and locate. DNF search or provides. Yeah, provides locate. Okay, so I found the package that I was looking for on Google, searching mlocate EL9 RPM. I found this repository. So I'm gonna download here the CentOS version, copy link address, and I'm gonna do RPM IVH paste. All right, so now I can do update DB. And now I can do locate php.ini. And now we can see we have our PHP82 here. So we're gonna go there and paste. And we're gonna look for user. No, we're gonna look for group. No. Well, actually, this is not what we are looking for. Let me see something else. Locate FPM. Okay. All right, so we have etc. opt REMI PHP82, and we have the PHP FPMD and www.conf. That's the one that we are looking for. So here where it says user Apache, we want to change that to asterisk, and group, we're gonna change to asterisk. Let me see something here. Okay. Listen owner. Um, I'm gonna change this to asterisk and asterisk. I think those are the lines that we have to change. Control this. I'm gonna change here also to asterisk. Yeah, everything else is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna save here, and now we're gonna do systemctl restart PHP 82 FPM. Okay. We are. Maybe it's just PHP FPM. Nope. System D system. Okay, so it's PHP 82 PHP FPM. All right. Now let me try to reload here. And yes, now we have our FreePBX interface. I'm gonna create a username for me, password, notification emails, no reply. No, I'm just gonna do a fake email here at nohost.com, whatever. VoIP server is fine for me. Okay, system, setup system. Now I'm gonna click here and I'm going to log in. And it's loading. Usually doesn't take that long. Let me take a look here if there is anything happening here. Okay, I'm getting kicked out. I think I know what the problem is. Um, so, um, var log HTTP error. And the problem is the session here, permission denied. And here's the folder that is having problems. So we have to go here and just let me list that folder. And we see root Apache. We're gonna change this to shown asterisk dot and hit enter. And now it should fix our problem. So I'm gonna try to reload. Click here, log back in. And yeah, now here is the extension screen. Now I'm gonna go back to dashboard. And yeah, at the W console reload failed, config not applied. Why? Let me check something here. Unknown error. Let me try here. FW console reload. Oh, PM2. So yeah, well, I was going to do this. So FW console MA install all. So we want to install all the modules from FreePBX. I think during our installation, when we had that problem, it did install the PM2 package, which is required. But this command should push to install all the modules that we need, and we're gonna make sure, yeah, it's installing PM2 now. So after that, we're going to update all the modules to make sure they're all up to date. Yeah, I know this is a little bit painful to watch, to to see all these problems happening. But as I said, this is not a standard installation, so we were expecting to get some errors and to have to debug a little bit. Uh, so far, everything's going quite well, and we're almost finished. So FreePBX has lots of modules, and we're installing all the standard modules. There are other modules that we can install, but we have only the standard repository switch enabled. So I'm just gonna go here and refresh, and now we should see no errors. Oh, okay, yeah, well, um, I think we have to apply here, and let's click on apply and see what happens. Okay, there is one bad destination. Blacklist destination for blacklist calls. I don't have any destination for blacklist. I don't usually use this blacklist module here specifically, but everything is installed and it's working. At this point, we can disregard this. These are some of the, well, system is missing socks, so that's probably something that we want to install. Then we can just do dnf install socks. Great. Um, really? libao kit broken. Yeah, then it doesn't. There are some other libraries that it looks that we might need, but I don't think we're going to use socks now. We do have all the codecs and the MP3 decoder and everything, so we do core show channels, uh, core show translation. Yeah, we have all the codecs here enabled, and it should work fine. But yeah, there are some things here that you might use socks to to uh, to configure some of the dial plan. But for now, we're gonna skip that and gonna go here to settings and asterisk SIP settings, and we're going to click on the network settings. Make sure you have your external IP address here, and for channel SIP, just wanna confirm everything is okay. Port 5060 is okay. Um, if you're behind NAT, uh, if you're not exposed to the internet, it may be a good deal to set up the media transport, the stun server to something like stun protocol. You could go like to stunprotocol.org, and you have their address here, so you can just copy and paste here, and that's gonna help you if you have some audio problems like calls connecting without audio, and sometimes that happens depending on the SIP device that you're using. So I'm not gonna use a stun server now because um, the EC2 instance is exposed to the internet, so it shouldn't be a problem. Uh, if you want video calls, you have to switch here to enable. The instances, again, we're using 1 GB of RAM and we have 30 GB of disk space. So it's kind of low. It probably can handle one call with video call, but if you want to have like lots of calls, then video calls, then you're gonna have to make more use of your CPU, and that's gonna overload the T2 micro instance. You're gonna have to look for instance with more CPU power to have this enabled. So I'll just keep it disabled for my case here, or you could try it on and see how it works. It depends on many things like video codecs that you have available with your SIP device and bandwidth available, resolution. Those things will impact the CPU performance during your call. So at this point, we have the PBX configured. We're just going to submit the changes, make sure everything's updated. And now the next step here, I'm going to load my Zoiper soft phone to test a phone call. Make sure everything's working fine. So we're going to go here, have some other accounts here. I'm going to add a new one, create account, SIP, username. So we're gonna create a new extension here so we can register. I'm gonna create a new PJ SIP extension. I'm gonna give it the username 2000 and display name 2000, and the password's pretty long, but it's good to have, like a strong password. So I'm gonna keep it at least strong and copy this. I'm gonna click on submit, apply the settings, and now I'm gonna go here to Zoiper, and on the user I'm gonna put 2000 password. I'm gonna paste the password, and I'm gonna copy the IP address here, paste, remove the HTTP, blah, blah, blah. Click on next. Gonna skip auto detection, next, close. It's registering, and now I just realized we are not going to be able to register. Sorry. So the next step here before we move on is to go to our AWS account. So I'm going to open my account here again and load my EC2 instance. All right, so here is my EC2. Is it? No, this is Ohio. Okay, I have to go to Oregon, which is the instance that we are running. Okay, so this is the instance that we are running, 54. Oh, yeah. So we are using security group launch wizard 2. So we're gonna go to security groups and select the launch wizard 2. And we have this ports that are open 80.22.443. This for HTTP and this is for SSH. We're gonna have to open more ports, so we're gonna edit inbound rules, and we are going to add a new rule. It's gonna be a custom UDP. The port range is going to be a single port, port 5060. And source, what is this? Custom anywhere IPv4. And I'm gonna put a description SIP. Yeah, SIP is okay. I'm gonna add another rule, and again UDP, and now it's for the RTP ports. So asterisk, I just want to confirm, if we go here to vi etc asterisk rtp.conf. Oh, okay, so rtp additional.conf, because it's FreePBX. So yeah, between 10,000 and 20,000. So we have to open those ports between 10,000 to port range needs to be a number or a range of numbers between 0, oh, okay, 20,000. Anywhere IPv4, and that should be it. Save rules. Okay. Now I'm gonna close here, and I'm gonna go here to our Asterisk console, and I'm gonna try to register again. And yeah, we are registered. I can see here we are registered. Unable to bind to our AOR 2000. Oh, hang on. PG6 show endpoints. Yeah, 2000 is here. Oh, I know what's going on. I think it's because of the ODBC probably. Okay, so let me go here and unregister first and click OK. Let me minimize this. So we still have one thing. If we do ODBC show, yeah, it's 0 connection. So on the installation guide, we skipped the ODBC. So we have to configure ODBC here. So now libmaodbc. Let me see something here, etc. ODBC. Okay, example drivers. Okay, update the B. Locate libmaodbc. No, libmy SQL. No, but no. Okay, so DNF search MariaDB connector. Okay, so I found the connector and it was actually on my face. It was right here on the MariaDB.com website. So we just have to select the tab connectors, and I chose ODBC connector 3.2, the latest version, and RHEL 9. And I'm gonna click on download. And again, I'm gonna cancel the download. And I'm gonna right click and copy the link. I'm gonna go here and RPM IVH, paste the link. And now we should have the connector. I'm gonna do update to B, locate libma ODBC. Okay, so it's user lib64. Okay, so if we do via etc ODBC inst user MariaDB here, lib64 libma. So the name is MariaDB like this, MariaDB. So if we go to ODBC dot ini, we have here our configuration for Asterisk, but we have to change the driver to be MariaDB like this. And we're gonna save, and now we're going to do a core reload, and we're gonna do ODBC show. Now we have one active connection. Great. We're going to, I just want to check if we databases, and if we have, yeah, asterisk CDR, so the databases are okay. I'm gonna do FW console restart. I want to restart the FreePBX, and we're gonna test another call. So I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna go preferences, register. Okay. It still says unable to be in contact 2000 to AOR 2000. I wonder why. Let me see if I can make a phone call, star 65.
Your extension number is.
Yeah, because there's no AOR. Let me see something here. Etc. Asterisk pjzip.aor.conf. We do have one. pjzip show AORs. And we have our 2000 AOR transports. Okay, so I've been checking the configuration files, the FreePBX files, the Asterisk files. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. So I believe the problem is related with the MySQL version. We are using the latest MariaDB version, and I compared that to another installation that I have that is working, and there we have MariaDB version 10, and we installed the latest version, version 11. So I believe because if we open the Asterisk logs, we can see there are some errors saying invalid SQL statement, something like that. And so I've been looking the syntax and the files. I went ahead and I reinstalled FreePBX to make sure uh, it wasn't a problem with the installation, but I had the same problem. So what we are going to do now is to uninstall my MySQL, the version 11, install the version 10. So we can download the version 10 here from the mariadb.com, and we can just go here to version 10.11.10 GA and select the RHEL 9 and click on download. Uh, I already actually I already downloaded and removed the MySQL 11. So I'm just gonna cancel here. And so if you do DNF, DNF erase MariaDB server and hit enter, then it's gonna remove your MariaDB 11 that we installed previously. After that, you can do RPM QA grep MariaDB and hit enter just to make sure that you don't have any pending packages of MariaDB on your system. So after that, I already downloaded. You can see here MariaDB 10.11, which is the version that we downloaded right now. I had already downloaded. Uh, so we cd into MariaDB, and we have to run this setup repository, and I already did this step. So if I do that, it's gonna say that there is a file, the repository file already exists. So after that, we're gonna do DNF install. Well, before we install MariaDB, one thing that I noticed is that even after we do DNF erase MariaDB server, there are some files that are still there. And if you do list var lib Maria, actually MySQL, you're gonna see there are some files that are still there. So if we reinstall, we're gonna still have the old database in it. It's just gonna change the MySQL version, but we want to remove the database and all previous previous files from the previous installation. So I'm gonna remove this folder completely. Varlib okay, so it's gone. Now we're gonna do DNF install MariaDB. Like, oops. Just let me click no and put server, the MariaDB server, and hit Y to install. Okay, so oops. Yeah, okay, now it finished. Let's try to log in. Okay, so we have to start it. Systemctl start MariaDB, and now we can yeah, we can access the database. That's fine. Um, so now we have to remove a couple of files to reinstall FreePBX. So we're gonna do remove root force. We have to remove uh, var lib asterisk bin. Then we're gonna remove var www html admin. Uh, then we're gonna remove the files etc freepbx.conf and portal.conf, and we're gonna remove also the folder etc asterisk. Okay, so now um, we're gonna have to go back to uh, user local source and cd into asterisk again, and we're gonna do the make samples again to create the etc asterisk directory again, a brand new one, and we're gonna do the shown asterisk on etc asterisk on var lib spool log asterisk, and I think this is not necessary, but I'm just gonna do it asterisk, yeah. All right, so now we can go here. We remove the FreePBX. Did we remove the, let me see here, etc. Portal. Yeah, we removed the portal. Um, we removed the database and initiated the, so we actually have to go here in systemctl enable, so it starts up automatically on the next reboot or when you start up the Docker container. So now we're going to go to the FreePBX folder, and I think we are running asterisk. Yeah, so we're gonna do core stop now, and we're gonna do start asterisk start, and we're going to do the install dash n, and I'm gonna let the installation script do its thing. And hopefully this time it's gonna work with the new MySQL database. I mean, with the older one, with the older version. Yeah, and make sure that you follow these exact steps, because if you miss any of them, oh no, never mind. I was thinking here because the asterisk.conf that's on etc asterisk, we have to remove that, but we removed the directory completely and rebuild it with make samples. So that should take care of that. Yeah, it looks good. I think it's almost finishing it. Yeah, so it's successfully installed FreePBX. Now I'm gonna run curl again, ipecho.net /plain, get my IP address, copy and paste. And here we go again. So I'm gonna type in a username. Oops. Password. Oh. And email. Local host, local domain. Setup system. Gonna select here English. Submit. And we have the welcome to FreePBX. And we got just the SOX warning. We will deal with that later. We shouldn't have any extension. I just want to go here to. Okay, so I'm gonna click on apply config. Okay, and now I'm going to do the command F wconsole ma install all, because we want to install all the modules that are available, the standard modules. And after that, we're gonna create the extension 2000 again and make the final test, see if it works fine. So the problem with not with that kind of problem, because we tested the Zoiper and we were able to make a phone call. But the problem is, if with that kind of problem, we are not going to be able to receive any phone calls because there is no contact header available to 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 reach. So okay, so let me go ahead and open Zoiper already, and I'm gonna go here, settings, preferences, and just gonna keep it there. All right. So now we should have all the modules here. Let me refresh. Let me click on dashboard again. And yeah, we have all the standard modules here. So if we go to Asterisk SIP settings, and we have to click here the tech network settings, and again, if you want to enable video call, you can click here. I'm gonna enable it here, even though we are not gonna test really video calls. Just gonna click on submit, and I'm gonna create an extension here, the 2000 extension again, and add a new PJ SIP extension. I'm gonna put 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000, and I'm gonna just make this shorter. Copy the password, submit. I'm gonna hit apply, and I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna update the password on Zoiper. And before I register, I want to go to the Asterisk clade, see if I see any errors. And click on register, and it's registered. And the only, yep, we got the AOR now. It added the AOR contact. So now 2000, as I said, is reachable. So let me do a test call here and do *65.
Your extension number is 2000.
And now it even says the extension number, which is what it's supposed to do. So Yeah, so we got FreePBX working here on Docker, and let me see here. Now, if you want to configure your trunks, you would go here to trunks and add a new zip PJ zip trunk. If we go to here to CDR reports, we should be able to see our. No, we don't see anything yet because we erased all the configuration. And let me see here something. ODBC show. Yeah, so I have to go back here and VI, etc. Um, ODBC.ini. So update DB. Locate lib ODBC. We don't have that, right? Lib ODBC. Okay. So we have to install the connector. So DNS search connect. And we, we, we're gonna have to download again, I think, from here. We can go back here and here to connectors and 3433126. Which one? This MySQL is 10.11. I think the connector doesn't really matter. We're gonna try the latest one. Oh, no, the ODBC connector. Sorry. And well, actually, yeah, there are only two options. I'm gonna use the latest one. So, and we're gonna use the RPM for RedHat 9. Click on download, and I'm gonna cancel the download. And right click here, copy link, and I'm going to do RPM IVH and paste the link. And now we should have the connector ready. Um, Let me do update DB again and locate and user libsys64 libmyo. So it should be the same thing that it was before. And I think we have to, yeah, we have to do a core reload. And now we have one active connection. So just gonna open Zoiper again and let me register the extension 2000. And I want to make a phone call just to make sure that it's going to show on the CDR records because the connector is gonna connect to the MySQL database and is going to store the call records. And let me try here, star 65.
Your extension number is 2000.
Okay, call finish. Let me search. And there we go. So we have our call record here. So we know that the asterisk is communicated with the database correctly. So yeah. So that's pretty much about it. Now, one extra step that we can do here is to DNF install failed to ban. I'm not sure if that's oh, okay. Failed to ban format power requires failed to ban firewall data firewall needed by Facebook. Okay. Um, yeah, it's a good. We have to install some firewall, so we can install fail to ban and configure it. So I'm gonna show how to install it. Okay, so let's try DNF install fail to ban server and hit Y. Okay, so now we could do cd etc fail to ban, and yeah, we have our jail.d and filter.d. So if you go to jail.d, we don't have anything there. .com. Okay, so I'm gonna copy what I have here on my other servers. So etc. fail to ban jail dot d asterisk jail, and I'm gonna copy, just omit the IP address, and if we go to vi jail.d and asterisk, it has to be .conf, right? I think it's yeah, it has to have the .conf. So asterisk .conf. I'm gonna put asterisk jail just to make it different, and paste here, and ignore the IP. I'm gonna use again curl and grab my public IP address, and I'm gonna add it here, and yeah, we're gonna do systemctl restart fail to ban. I'm gonna check the status, see if it's running. Okay, we're gonna do enable to make it load up automatically during boot. And if we do IP tables, oh, we don't have IP, so we have to install IP tables. IP tables. Let's restart fail to ban. Let's check the status. Okay, and IP tables. Okay, so we already have one IP being blocked. That looks like it's my own IP address. Uh, Probably because I tried the wrong password. My Zoiper was open with the wrong with the old extension with the old password. So yeah, that looks just like my IP address. I'm gonna take it out, but we know that it's working. So well, that means if I try to call or do anything, let me try to unregister And let me try to register. Is it gonna time out? Yeah, it's trying. It's not going to register. Is gonna time out. And yeah, that means the firewall is working. The other way to test this is obviously go here to the zip settings and change the password to something that is not the valid password, and try that a few times and it should get blocked. So it's still registering. Now we got an exclamation mark, says 408 timeout. So yeah, so if I go here and go here list, and I'm gonna whitelist myself here, so I'm gonna delete add to be asterisk UDP and the row number 1. Now if I go here and if I try again, it's already registered. So yeah, now that I try it again, it's already registered. I can do star 43 for echo test.
You are about to enter an echo test. In this mode, everything you say will be repeated back to you just as soon as it is received.
But yeah, my microphone, I'm using the microphone for the recording, so it's not gonna work. Um, yeah, so we know that the IP tables is working, the fail to ban is working. It's supposed to come up automatically. So one last thing that we need to do here is to go to the installation steps, and we have the system D startup. We can copy this and paste, hit enter. Okay, then timer reload, enable FreePBX, and okay. So now we can do systemctl status FreePBX, and it's loaded but it's inactive. Um, but it should come up when Docker starts up. So what we are going to do now, I'm gonna go to the host computer. We're gonna do Control D to go back to go out of the Docker container and go back to the host computer. And now if we do Docker PS, we see that we have our container running there. We're gonna do Docker container stop and the container name FreePBX. Okay, so if we do Docker PS again, it's not there because it's not running. But if you do -A, it's gonna show that we exited right now 12 seconds ago. So um, what we want to do is to start the container and make sure that everything is going to start up automatically. So start, and okay, now we go to Docker exec and go inside the container again and check for asterisk rvbb. Asterisk is running. Um, is Apache running? System status httpd. No, so we forgot the, if we try to, yeah, uh, if we try to reload. we don't have Apache uh, set to enable by default. But if we do status FreePBX, now we can see that FreePBX is running. So uh, we just need to do enable. So next time when we start Docker again, is gonna start up the Apache server automatically. And I'm not gonna do that again, stop and start the container. So I'm just gonna start the Apache manually and gonna hit refresh, and we should have everything back here again. So if we go here to extensions, you have your extensions, and all the all the settings should be there. Yep. So now the next step would be go back to the host computer, and if we do Docker image ls for list, we can create a new image that has our all our installation, and that's what we are going to do now. So well, before we do that, we have to see how much disk space we have. So we have 19 gigabyte available. We are using 9.2 gigabyte out of 30 gigabytes. So um, let's so we're gonna do Docker px, and uh, generally we stop the container. So yeah, let's stop the container. We're just gonna Docker container stop FreePBX. That's the safest way to create your Docker image out of your container. So we're gonna do Docker commit the container ID. Actually, I think it's Docker container commit and the name. So if you're going to upload your image to dockerhub, then you have to follow the name of your repository. Um, so first, I just gonna commit here, and let me see what name I'm gonna use here. FPBX. Uh, yeah, Red Hat latest, and hit enter. And now Docker is gonna create an image of this container with this name here, FPBX Red Hat. And so I'm gonna have to sign in, but I can't sign in right now because I have to access the phone that I'm using. Well, it's not gonna be necessary. So yeah. So I created this repository AWS test just to push the container here. So it's still committing. Um, So yeah, we have to use this the name of your username slash the repository name. So in this case, logiconnect slash AWS test. And this is a public container, so you don't need to log into to your Docker account. If you create a private container, then you're gonna have to log into your Docker account through the command line here. And you could do like Docker login and enter username and password, and then you can push the your image to dockerhub. Let's wait it finish here. It shouldn't take too long. So after we push this image here to dockerhub, then you can just download it on any system that has Docker and run your FreePBX installation on any computer that supports Docker. So yeah, it finished here. So if we do Docker, oops, Docker image ls, now we have two images, and the FreePBX RedHat one, it's using about 4.65 gigabyte. That's the whole system, the whole system, whole installation. And then to push that, you would do Docker to Docker Hub. You just have to do Docker push. Uh, well, actually, we have to first create. Um, we have to replicate the image with the same name that we want. So we have to use Docker tag. So not replicate, but tag the image. So we're gonna tag this image. Uh, we use the image ID, and we're gonna use the same name here. Uh, Logiconnect AWS test, and we're going to do. We have to add a tag for this repository, and I'm just gonna use new for because we just created it. So I'm gonna use new. So if we list the images again, we have uh, the repository, Logiconnect, AWS test, and the tag new. So now we can do Docker push uh, Logiconnect, AWS, and new. Hang on. Before we push the image to dockerhub, we have to log into to Docker through the terminal. So to do that, we have to actually go to uh, account settings, and you have personal access tokens, and you have to create a new token. And I'm just gonna do AWS test expiration, whatever, public. I want to read, write, and delete. Generate. So we have here, we already have the commands here, so we can just copy and use the commands directly here. And Docker login, login connect, and the password is this one here. And now login succeeded. I'm gonna revoke the password and yeah, the key, the the access token. So I'm gonna be revoking that after the video. Um, so after you log in, we can do the Docker and push that. Um, go back here, AWS test, and we can do the Docker push and oops. What? Hang on, let me go back to repositories, AWS test. Okay. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. And paste Docker push. We're going to change the tag here for the new and hit enter. And now it's pushing the file. So it's 4.4 gigabyte. So I'm gonna come back when this is finished. Okay, so the upload finished and it says here pushed. So if we go here to dockerHub and reload our repository, it should show our image there available. So yeah, so it shows our new tag. So yeah, so we have that image now available on dockerHub, and if you wanted to download that image, you would just use the command docker pull, and the image would be like logiconnect AWS test and column new, whatever tag name that you gave to your image, and it would download the image to your computer to Docker, and then you would run the command docker run restart and all these flags that I explained in the beginning, and then you should have your FreePBX running once you do that and ready to go. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. If you have, thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please let me know and write your comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them in time. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.